Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Dawn Campbell Codlin. Welcome back to Extra. I said a little bit of extra in your life, a little bit of extra, you know why? Extra, extra. Read all about it. Yes, I'm here just, for a quick video. I need to make my videos. I need to keep you posted. All right, so today's topic or question to you before I start: is forgiveness an option or compulsory? What's your take on that? When we look at forgiveness, it is deep, it is touching. The Bible spoke about it. Several chapters in the Bible spoke about it. As far as way back in the day, forgiveness is was done at the cross, when God was on the cross, and he asks, forgive them, for they didn't know not what they did, right? So, and the scriptures talk about forgiving your brother 70 times 7, or if we don't forgive others, we will not be forgiven. The prayer in Psalm, forgive those who trespass against you, right? So is forgiveness an option or is it compulsory? I am sure that most of us, if all of us, would have been through a situation that caused us to feel bitter and angry, and to the point that we said, no, I cannot deal with that person again. I will not forgive this person for the rest of my life, or how we swore on it. We take some oath and we swear that we will never forgive the person, and so forth. Is that an option or is it compulsory? And I would say, under what domain? If I believe that if you are in Christ, if you have a hope that you will reign with Christ, and you are going based on religion, based on what the Bible says, it is compulsory. It is a must. Is it that if you forgive, say if it's not based on religion, if you forgive, how does it work with your emotions, your feelings, your body, the way you process things, the way you operate your daily living? When you forgive, does it give you peace as opposed to when you don't forgive? So I've been in several situations that required me to be forgiven. I have to forgive. I realize, and why I do it, say I do go the Bible way, but apart from going the Bible way, the peace that it gives me to forgive someone, as opposed to having that person in my heart carrying, it is greater. It's a greater feeling than to have someone carrying in my heart, being bitter with, not want to be in the same space with, not want to, when I probably hear the person's name, I will, that send a racing heart or a cringing me, or, a facial expression. I found out that when I forgive, I feel better. It makes me feel better. I am more able to function. And the Bible said, leave all vengeance unto me. God said, leave all vengeance unto me. So I do forgive because it makes me feel better. Is it easy to forgive? No, it's a task and it's a work in progress. You do not forgive. I say, oh, I forgive. That's out of your mouth. But forgiveness comes from within, right? It is actionable. So when you forgive, you will feel the difference. You will know the difference, as opposed to saying, I forgive the person. There's a vast difference as it relates to you truly forgiving the person, and it's not a one-day thing. It probably take years to forgive, right? So if you're willing to go the other route, or the other route, it is forgiveness. It's not easy. It is hard. It is hard to let go of something that hurts you deeply. It is hard, but is it rewarding and fulfilling? Yes, it is. You will see the difference in your life, or you operate, or you feel. You will see the difference. So, as I said, I've been in situations a whole lot that I have to forgive. I have to let go. I'm still in situations that I am working on the forgiveness. It's not totally there, but it's way better than before. Because to be a bitter person, it's like your bloodstream is bitter also. It's like you're sending some negative bloods to your system, to your heart. Your heart is being, damaged every day by the bitterness, the heaviness that it is carrying. But if you let go, that bitterness, that heaviness, that weight, and sometimes you don't know that you're being weighed down, until you truly let go and you say, boy, as somebody did feel heavier. So, that's how deep I had it. But when you let go, how do you forgive? What's the process of forgiving? Well, for me, some persons, before I go my side, some persons, they have to go through counseling, get desensitized, do some cognitive reconstructing, right? Some behavioral therapy, some form of treatment and techniques in order to forgive persons. Some have to go through prayer and fasting. Some, like me now, I do mindfulness thinking. I internalize my situation over and over, and I do counterfactual thinking. I think about where I went wrong to with the person, because sometimes you can go wrong. Your first decision can evoke some sort of response from a person that caused you, to be bitter because you didn't want to hear that response or whatever it is. So you have to think about, I think about what I've done wrong, what I could have done differently, right? And when I find my fault, then I think about the person. So I put myself into the person's position, right? And then when I put myself into the person's position, I said, because sometimes we tend to think for the person and say, me could never do this, I will never do this to nobody or whatever. But in the same breath, we have to think about the person, what they are going through at the time, what they were being fed, or whatever is going through in their life that caused them to hurt you. Right? They talk about hurt persons. Do you believe that? Not really. You don't have to really hurt persons, but sometimes we are we are led to say certain things that cause us to hurt person, and just simplest of things can hurt somebody. I can say, why are you standing at the door? And a person can be offended by it, because at the time in their life, or at that moment, I don't know what's going through their head. Probably this is where I want to be, at the door. Why, oh dare you come and interrupt me and tell me why do I have to be at the door, right? And that thing can cause bitterness in the person, and what, turn around now and dislike me, right? And it's a simple situation to me, but to the person it can be a big thing based on what they're going through in that particular time in their life. So we have to be mindful of whatever it is that we do. But in the same breath, for us to be healthy, we have to learn to let things go and to learn to forgive. Because if you just stack up things on you, that's weight, that's load. And some person say, boy, oh, she do that, oh, she forgive certain situation, oh, she had to be there and whatever. But I can tell you, when you forgive, Just like how God forgives us, and he said, I wash those away in the sea of forgetfulness. I might not wash them away in the sea of forgetfulness. I do remember, I can recall all the situations, but does it bring pain when if something, say, some things come up? Or, my last topic was transference. If somebody come to me and probably remind me of something that happened in my life, I am not evoked by it. I am not hurt again, because I would have been through the healing process. I would have forgiven the situation. So if even somebody come and say X, Y, and Z to me about a particular situation in my life that I was bitter about, or that hurt me and caused me, to hate someone, or not to want to forgive someone, if I heal from it, that will not affect my thought process. That will not affect anything as it relates to that person, or cause me to say bad about that person, because I would have forgiven the person or the situation or whatever it is. But I can tell you, speaking from experience, when you forgive, it brings joy. It turns your mourning into dancing. It lifts your sorrow, right? You won't have to go around with a frown. You won't have to not want to be in a space with somebody. I mean, now listen to me. That probably why I'm easy to forgive somebody. I'm not gonna let anybody cause me to be in a space for me to feel uncomfortable. I don't want to be here because he or she's here and I don't like him. I'm gonna unlike you. I'm gonna if I should put it in right order, I'm gonna like you. I'm gonna put away that unlike that I had for you, or have for you, and like you, and love you with the love of Christ, so I can be in the space with you and feel all right. Play with you and talk with you, pass you and tell you good morning, shout you and tell you hello. As I said, it will take a while, but if you work on it, it will get there, because it don't come like that. It's not zoop, zoop, zoop. Oh, I forgive. I have worksheets that I go through, forgiveness paper. I will write the person's name and put a prayer to it and ask God to help me to forgive the person and heal me from that bitterness and that hurt. Because hurt and bitterness, it's not nice. And as I said, it will cause you. And when people don't forgive, sometimes that's say, oh, can I forgive somebody who cheat on me, who kill somebody for me, who lied on me, who hate me for no reason? How can I forgive somebody who does that? But you can. It is possible. It is possible. But you cannot do it by self. You have to do it by introspection. If you have to seek help, if you have to seek counseling, if you have to talk to a friend about it. And then you cannot talk to any friend, because you can't talk to somebody who is bitter, to help you in the process of forgiving somebody. You have to talk to somebody who is thinking positive and not selfish as it relates to certain situation, because they will bring you down the wrong path, and they themselves will go again and forgive persons, right? And then you cannot talk to somebody who probably, I'm in a conflict with Jane, and I will talk to somebody who them and Jane are friends. They're friends with Jane, but in the same breath, I am bitter with Jane, and I go and talk to you, and you advise me, yes girl, hold it out and talk and then yet I will see you talking to Jane and something. So you have to be mindful of who you talk to, because some people like the conflict. Some people are there in the back, liking whatever is happening, and like the division and so on. But what I can say to you, forgiveness is divine. You have to try it. Forgiveness is, I will get angry, I will curse you at times, I will say my piece, but at the end of the day, I will look over and I will think about where I went wrong, where I could have done better, because sometimes Sometimes the situation, we have our faults in it. We're not blameless. Our response to everything, you know, the way we communicate, our response to a conversation, our reaction to a situation, everything evokes something. So to be on the right too, we have to learn how to forgive. You have to learn forgiveness. And it is, as I said, it's a job, it's a task, it's work. But is it fulfilling? Yes, it is fulfilling. So I am taking today to tell you that if you are a Christian, or if you want peace in you, in your mind, in your thinking, to be free, learn how to forgive. The prodigal son story, the father could have, have out the son. You asked for your things and you left, and you went out there into the field and you done everything, and then you come back to me, want me to, take you in. It's a difficult task. He took him in, and he did his best, and he killed the fattest calf and everything, and they had a feast and be merry. That's forgiveness. For some people, it's easier than said. For some people, if they put in the work, it can be done. But you have to have an open mind towards forgiving others. You have to have an open, you want to be free. You want to be free. You don't want to be walking with burdens. And at the same breath, we are human and we make mistakes. So it can be that the person just made a mistake and needs you to forgive them. Do they have to ask for you to forgive them? Do they have to ask for forgiveness? Oh, Dawn, can you forgive me? No, they probably not ask. They probably don't see nothing wrong with what they do. But in the same breath, you have to be conscious of what you want to be, and how peaceful you want to be, and how blooming you want to be as a flower, and how fresh you want to be as daylight. So you will look into yourself and say, you know what? I am doing this for Dawn. I am doing this for me. So I am going to let go of the situation. And as Zanya Monet says, let go and let God. If you do believe in God, you can let go and let God. But if you don't, then if you believe in peace and tranquility, and you don't want to be miserable, learn how to forgive. You can. There are steps you can read up as it relates to that, and it's a daily task. You don't have to rush it, one day at a time. Well, it's Dawn Campbell. Check it in. Campbell Codland. Check it in. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Be blessed.